Well, Fox Carolina News going in depth right now on some alarming numbers coming out of Anderson County of the rate of suicides this year compared to previous years. For much more, we're joined by Alyssa Whitfield with the Anderson County Coroner's Office. So, Alyssa, thank you so much for your time. Some disheartening numbers here when we look at it, already surpassing the number of suicides last year in Anderson County. And this time last year, comparing it to those numbers, it is nearly double of what we had this time last year. 55 suicides already in the county. What is your office seeing? What is causing this? How are you guys making sure that people stay on top of their mental health, especially here in 2025?
Yeah, so these numbers are extremely alarming. Not only are we past what last year's numbers are, we've actually passed the highest recorded numbers of suicides in Anderson County. That was 54 for both 2015 and 2020. So it's just an extremely alarming number since we haven't even reached the end of the year and we're already at those numbers.
And it's one of those things where this is a record you do not want to break. And it's sad to hear these numbers. 55 already passing the record of 54 all of 2020, the COVID year, and then 2015. What are some resources available? How can people make sure that they're reaching out, taking care of themselves, also taking care of their loved ones?
So Anderson County has a Department of Mental Health. That's a really good resource. They do have a sliding scale. So a lot of people are worried about the money issue that comes into mental health, and they will work with you on that. So we always encourage everyone, don't just think that you can't get care because of the money barrier. At least reach out, and a lot of times they can work with you, even if you have no insurance or insurance that may not cover mental health services.
You talk about the money barrier. That's often a factor a lot of people don't even think about. How can you make sure that people understand that there is help available?
So Anderson Oconee Pickens Mental Health is an amazing resource that goes through the state of South Carolina. But the United Way has also started a mental health clubhouse. So they're getting that up and going, and that's something that's free of charge for people just to go and hang out, and they have mental health resources there as well. So there's that other option of the mental health clubhouse, but also just talking to family and friends and letting people know that you are there to listen, because that doesn't cost somebody anything. And they can just let you know what they're feeling. And a lot of times that's all that they need, is to have somebody there to listen to them, to know that they care.
And inside the coroner's office there, what are you guys discussing to make sure that these numbers decrease, not increase like we're seeing right now?
We like to partner a lot. Like I said, the United Way, we have partnered with them in their new clubhouse venture. But prevention and just getting the word out there, the stigma around mental health is something that's extremely common, especially with males. We've had 39 male suicides, so 39 out of the 55 have been males, just because a lot of times they think that they can't go because they're supposed to be strong. But that's something that obviously we know, just because you're a man doesn't mean you don't have feelings and things aren't going on in your head. So we want the men to reach out as well, not just the females.
And we know about the 988 Lifeline. How can the coroner's office partner with that, and how can people utilize that lifeline still in place?
So we actually have cards that we give out throughout the community that have the 988 number on there. It also has a "You Matter, You Are Not Alone" slogan on. So if people want to come by our office and pick those up, they can give them out within the community as well, because a lot of people know about the 988, but they just need that reminder, especially if they're going through a mental health crisis.
I think lastly, what is your message to anybody out there who may be struggling, may have a family member they know is struggling? What's your message to them here this evening?
So here we always say that a suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. There's almost never a situation that's never going to get better. A lot of times when you're in that situation, it feels like it's the end of the world, and that's when these spur of the moment decisions happen. But we want to encourage everybody to think about the after effects. Most people, when they commit suicide, they don't think about their family afterwards, and that's a big part of it as well, because their families are now struggling with the decisions that they made too.
Alyssa Whitfield, hopefully these numbers continue to decrease, not the other way around. So thank you so much for your time and your insight.
Thank you.